First Baptist Church of Kimberling City presents a fresh look with Fresh Start.
Good morning, folks. I want to welcome you back to our morning devotions. As some of you know, we've kind of changed the format up a little bit. We're starting with what we're calling Fresh Start each morning. We're going to give you just a thought, an idea, and hope that it will help you in that day in serving the Lord and encourage you every step of the way. This morning, I want to share with you out of Psalm 57. Here, David is hiding in a cave. He is trying to escape Paul. And during that difficult time, during that time of oppression and turmoil, David writes this, and he finds 4 things about how God can deliver him in the midst of trouble. Now, what I want to do with you this morning is to give you a fresh start in knowing that God is with you in all times. Now, first of all, I want you to see in verse 1, David, he says, "Be merciful to me, O God, be merciful to me. My soul trusts you, and in the shadow of your wings I will take my refuge until these calamities have passed by." David was assured of God's presence. He knew that God was with him. In the midst of trials, he knew that. You know, sometimes we think if we're going through a difficult time that God's not there, but the truth of the matter is God's there all the time with us. So we have to know God's presence. We have to know God's purpose. David, in verse 2, is trusting. He said, "I will trust you, O Lord." In other words, you've got this, God. I will put my trust in you. So we know his presence. We trust him in all that we do, his purpose, and we trust his power. In verse 3, it says, "He shall send from heaven and save me." David knew that God had a purpose in his life and would send him. He says, "He reproaches the one who would swallow me up. God shall send forth his mercy and his truth." So if we know God's presence, we know God's got a purpose, we trust in his power, then we can see God's providence. David says he awaits in verse 5 in the midst of lions. Today, you may be faced with obstacles, difficulties, even mountains to climb. What I want to encourage you to do is to, number 1, know God's presence, know that he has a purpose. 3, know he has the power. And 4, know his providence. This morning, may you get off to a fresh start as you serve the Lord.
Thank you for listening. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share Fresh Start. Fresh Start is a ministry of First Baptist Church, Kimberling City.